Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Porsotam and I am a part-time PhD student at Bournemouth University. I would like to begin with a quote from the famous Roman poet Virgil, and one that is used at the 9/11 Memorial Museum. No day shall erase you from the memory of time. Its relevance will become clear. The title of my presentation, One Career, Two Stories, and its focus is the loss of my primary work and career as a pharmacist, as a result of my statutory regulators' fitness-to-practise proceedings against me during 2012, which culminated in my licence to practice as a pharmacist being revoked. After 21 years of successful work as a pharmacist in community and hospital practice, research and teaching, my name was erased from the pharmacist's register of practice. I joined the 1 in every 2,000 care professionals every year who are struck off a professional register. The following is an extract from my regulator, the General Pharmaceutical Council's public statement in 2012 about me. Prior to these events, Mr. Leal had an unblemished record. By reason of our findings, Mr. Leal has lost his good character and reputation. Mr. Leal's misconduct is entirely at odds with the views of patients, who consider that he is an honest, caring and decent professional. Doubtless Mr. Leal was under pressure, but the source of his difficulties was the fact that he sought to run two pharmacies without a responsible pharmacist being in place, beyond the extent permitted by the law. We are satisfied that this practice was carried on because of greed and self-interest, rather than any real difficulty obtaining locum pharmacist cover. To this day, I do not accept the stated motivations for my misdemeanours. My regulators seemed aloof to such virtues as care, courage, commitment, veracity, and justice. Statutory regulators are in place to protect the public from the risk of harm caused by care professionals. All follow the same fitness to practice process and procedures, but these processes are very distressing to care professionals themselves. Many care professionals develop suicidal ideation. A study by Horsfall in 2014 found that 24 doctors had committed suicide between 2005 and 2013 while going through fitness to practice procedures. It appears that the fitness to practice process is neglectful of the psychological needs of care professionals under investigation. The extract taken from my psychological journey vignette reveals my thoughts, feelings and emotions the day after losing my license. My work was my purpose in life that gave to me my worth, and without which I could not function. My well-being was rooted in my work as a pharmacist. A deepening sense of loss led me to begin to lose hope. I began to question whether living without professional practice would be a life at all. I could hear the voice in my head exclaim, "It's gone, it's gone," and at the same time experiencing escalating anger that became impossible to contain. I was now certain that what happened yesterday was in fact true. I had been struck off. I had lost my work and livelihood, public standing and reputation. My work was a central part of who I was. It was a big part of my identity. My regulator's determination and sanction came across as meta-narrative that for 2 years I found impenetrable. It underlined my bad apple master status, and the label just swept away what little remained of my life at the time. I did not feel human anymore, sank into depression, and thoughts about ending my life led me to enter NHS mental health services. I was soon diagnosed with a chronic personality disorder, borderline type. My suffering just deepened. A year after I was struck off, I had my epiphany, a spiritual reawakening. In the following abstract from my spiritual journey vignette, I received a glimpse of my true self. Lord Jesus presented himself as the risen Christ. His hands were relaxed with palms facing upwards, beckoning me to follow him. At this time I was broken, troubled, beyond repair. His gaze upon me from up high was compassionate, intense yet gentle and loving. All sense of the world and my physical being seemed to dissolve. Everything seemed in that moment brighter, and as I began to fill my consciousness with this light, I felt somehow my Lord was familiar to me and overwhelmingly beautiful. I did not discern any voice. However, there was an innate knowing that took place, like the sound of silence, that was able to convey several profound messages to me. I am loved unconditionally. I am a beloved child of God. I am forgiven. My search for a purpose and meaning to my life on earth was being revealed. I am a soul. I am spirit. Be at peace. So what I took away was that I wasn't broken. I wasn't bad. I did not have to suffer. All changes thereafter happened incrementally, stimulated by an insight of spiritual dimension, as I began the long path to restoring my name to the register of practice. I began my PhD study in 2015, 3 years after strike-off, in order to contribute my experience to helping others going through the career-interrupting event. The literature review I carried out revealed there was a gap. This first-hand account by an erased care professional was absent. Social workers, pharmacists, nurses and doctors work in challenging environments and often with inadequate support and resources. Human error is more likely to happen, yet this is ignored by the system of regulation. Understandably, my work is a very personal narrative. It challenges the meta-narrative of authority along with its attitudes, prejudices and marginalisation of hard-working, deeply caring and dutiful health and social care professionals. I am not Dr. Harold Shipman or Nurse Beverly Allett who killed. So why treat me as if I was? Muriel Rukeyser stated in a poem, "The universe is made of stories, not atoms." I realised that to answer my research question and understand the role of the catastrophic event in my life, I had to take a divergent approach, and not reductionist as my regulator had done 3 years earlier. My whole life was relevant to my strike-off, and this was ignored by the fitness-to-practise panel. I came to realise that while I may have lost my licence to practice, I had lost so much more leading up to it. Writing my autoethnography, which I have structured using 7 vignettes, has helped me reclaim my basic humanity. In 2017, I submitted my completed restoration application to my regulator, comprising 230 pages evidencing my transformation and readiness to return to pharmacy practice, the regulator responded as follows. The General Pharmaceutical Council will be opposing your application for restoration. At this time, I am performing life as a sign of my determination to survive and seek justice. Thank you for listening. I would be pleased to answer any questions you may have.